This is the Daily Briefing with Yahweh Elohim.
Whatever it is for you down there in the lower levels, you're tuned in to Republic 77.5, Coruscant's premier traffic and news network, where we keep you updated on the lanes, the latest political gossip, and all the best deals on nerf nuggets in the core. I'm your host, Ron Molto, and it's another glorious cycle in the heart of the Republic. Enjoy the tunes and stay tuned for further updates.
And thank you, Ron, and welcome to the Daily Briefing. I am Yahweh Elohim, Yahuwah, the Lord God of creation, from heaven to earth. I am He. So, today we're going to talk about a couple of topics. First, I want to say I wish all my Catholic and Christian house family have a good Friday tomorrow. Have a good Easter Sunday. I'll be checking in on services Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So hopefully I can see some lessons that I've been teaching being applied here. Same thing for the Jewish side of the house. Brothers and sisters, want to make sure that you guys are also being safe, being diligent. You obviously have my blessing and my hedge of protection, both the Christian and the Jewish house. So just try to do the best you guys can. Well, that's something you don't see every day. Yeah. So anyway, I'll be keeping an ear out for that, and we'll try to have the literal presence of who I am, which is the Holy Spirit in the flesh. But I will try to send the Spirit into as many churches who are asking. So, and on that note, actually, just so it makes more sense, I guess, on the human side of that, if there is like a direct need from a person individually, a family individually, or a congregation individually, obviously prayer, intercess, make sure you're clean, repentant. Don't try to make prayer requests when you have unrepentant sin. It doesn't do any good. You need to first repent of those sins and then make a resolve to not do them anymore, and then ask for the next step. So obviously when you're praying, when you're asking something, you're asking who? God the Father. Who is that? That is me, Yahweh Elohim, Yahuwah. In the flesh, I am Joshua, Jesus, whatever you people call that. I don't like that name, but for whatever purposes, I am the living God. Period. If you ask me something face to face or in person, I, as the living God, will think about it. We'll mill it over. And then if there is something that I need to do or can do pathway-wise, then I will send it up, and then it'll come down for you. That's how that works. You bring me something, I'll think about it. If it's worthy, I'll send it up, and then it'll send back down. Okay? Or sometimes the other way. If you're praying up, I'll hear it, and then I can speak about it down here. So, in a way, I guess, to be fair, it is a bit of a trinity, because there are three elements at play. Like, there is, there is the ever constant presence in heaven, the ever constant presence now on earth, and then the ever present Spirit that I, as Yahweh, send out to people, places, things, churches, businesses, what have you. And then I, from the flesh, can direct my angels, can make decisions, can impose judgments, can do, obviously, rites, words, decrees, things like that. So, and I know, guys, I know when people are truly desiring, if they're desiring like a rebirth, if they're desiring the remittance of sin, that's another thing, right? You got to clean yourself out, and then you got to ask for the strength. You got to ask to build that wall back up, build that breach back up. So anyway, hope everybody has a good, safe weekend. Obviously, we know that there is, unfortunately, a destabilizing terrorist force out in the world. We're actively working on getting that taken care of. So between, President Trump, the U.S. military, Benjamin Netanyahu, and the IDF, collectively we're going to get rid of the problem. But understand something too, that this does and will forever change the landscape of American and Jewish politics, because what were our friends, what were our partners, decided that they were not going to be our friends or our partners because they wanted to take the weasel way out. They wanted to duck their head in the sand and pretend that Iran wasn't an issue. All these other nations wanted to continue living day by day without thinking about truly caring about their neighbor. You see how these things are these things have implications in layers. Obviously, as an individual, as a follower or a believer or a kingdom-minded citizen, you should know, right? Taking care of your brother means doing right to all people when it's in your control, right? And sometimes we may not have a neighbor we like, or we may not have individuals that we jive with. That's fine. Do no wrong to that person. Don't go out of your way to be a troublemaker. Stay to yourself, right? But if someone's in need and you yourself are in an opportunity, are in a position to help that person, then you do that. And this translates into the nations. NATO had an opportunity to work with the United States and say, you know what, this is a great time for us to not only really test our NATO alliance, but we have a common goal. Every country, virtually every country in the entire creation has been affected by radical Islamic jihad. That is a fact, and it is a tragedy. Imagine how beautiful this creation that has taken a very long time to grow, and the humans, you guys have taken an equally long time to get to where you're at today. This is in one way an amazing time. It's at a time where humans, you guys are grown up enough to interact with Elohim normally. You guys have high minds, and a lot of you now have already had a spirit created for you. Now it's a part of sewing on the, I know it sounds dumb, but as a visual, if you think of the old Peter Pan cartoon in the beginning when he's trying to sew on his shadow, I don't know if that's some kind of underlying spiritual thing they're talking about, but I'm referencing it in that way, where if I've already created your heavenly body, right, your light body, let's say, is literally created for millions of people as we speak. I've done it. It's been done. It's up to you, though. You've got to basically take a shower, right? So you want to take a spiritual shower. No sin, no bad thoughts. Like, you want to get into a clean, all things. Eat clean food. Get yourself prepared to, in a way, meet your higher self. Once you've had that rebirth, where you've married your higher self, then you begin the program. Then you begin my program, where you're going from here, and you're actually getting into the heavens. You're actually breaching the kingdom of heaven itself, the real deal. You get to walk around, you can talk to people, do things, you can interact with people, places, and things. And then you come back down with a new purpose, reborn, you're in a new house. Like I've said, right? I'm moving into a brand new house, Asher and I, the family, and it's going to be new beginnings. Right? So we're super happy and excited about that, and I want my churchgoers, Jew and Christian, to be excited about that as well. Be super stoked. So I am not great at trying to follow a planned segment, apparently. So I just want to talk about how things are going to be so great here in the near future, how human happiness is going to become a centerfold, and how every day, instead of talking about negatives or worry or stress or apprehension or tension or anxiety, people are just going to be completely in a whole new mindset. Like, once the war is over and things change, like, truly. Because at the end of the day, guys, whether or not the earth knows who I am, what I, that's what I mean. Like, some people may never really get that. And okay, fine. Like, they're the ones missing out, because my big ticket is I want the earth restored. I want to see what it can fully do when all the criteria have been met. I tell you something, guys. humans as a whole were not put on this creation to just become a number, to just become a system, or a robot, or a mindless, or a minion. No one is a mindless or a minion unless you're demonically infested. Then you need to be destroyed. So then, if there is a person in there, then I need to put you back into the proper way, right? That's another thing. People that are like, let's keep the demons on Earth. I'm like, guys, you're doing them a disservice. Once we can relieve them of their demonic sickness, I can take the life and I can put it into a viable, working, corporeal being down the lineage of a woman for the future, and that person can be reborn without a demonic soul, and guess what? They'll be normal. Who was once a jihadist in this creation, or in this time, let's say in 900 years, comes out with a different name, a new family, and you would never even know. Right? You'd never even know. And that's the thing, right? This is... guys, in a way, it's kind of foolproof. Meaning, like, there's only one way, right? I am the way, the truth, and the light. Like, I know that sounds weird, but I mean, that is literally mine. Like, that is literally mine. I feel like I should have patented that back in the day. But my point here is, there are differences between, like, an Elohim, who is myself, and Asherah. Again, we can visit the heavens consciously and do things. What we do up there has a direct impact down here, is what I mean. And my number one big plan here is I want to get the world in good shape. I want the world to be in good shape. Alright, let me check in with the wife. Let me see where she's at on meetings, and then we will get back to our actual topics of the day. And we're back. Had to have a little bit of lunch with the wife, queen consort. It was pretty good. Had a little leftovers. So, because we're going to be moving, me and the missus have a birthday, like, and we're both born in April. Me, the 16th, her, the 29th. So, instead of this year, going out and doing a family dinner, we're going to do something just together. Because we're going to be moving during our birthday. So, we get a house for our birthday this year. That's pretty cool. So, it'll be a dinner date. One of our two favorite places is, we like the Golden Corral. I think they have some of the best fried chicken consistently, though. Like, every time you go, the fried chicken is exactly how it was last time. It is good. So, I like Golden Corral. The other one is the Olive Garden. Olive Garden is, me and Asher, is like one of our top. Depends on the month. Sometimes we waver a little bit. But for the most part, Golden Corral, Olive Garden, Chili's used to be up there, but I don't know, not anymore. Anyway, on my next thought of the day is, I really wish we had more wholesome media, like righteous, happy, warm shows, and clean, no foul language, no dirty themes, no themes of like sin. You know what I mean? You can have human drama without having sin, believe it or not. But good, clean TV shows, music, and even in the future, a good, righteous type of social media, right? Where the infatuation with sin, debauchery, and all things, not savory to the kingdom. We don't want people to pursue those things. It's not a good thing. So, alright, and the United Kingdom, as I promised, my hands are off of you. You guys can deal with your hurricane. Don't care. You should have been strong and courageous, not ducking your tail and running. That is not courageous. And again, if if there is no action when it comes to defeating evil, then there is no purpose to having a military. If you have a military, the purpose is to protect your nation from wicked and evil people, either through economic, cyber, physical, spiritual, like economical, anyway. That military is your first defense against wicked and evil people. And if wicked and evil people in a regime like Iran are sending out proxies to carry out their bad deeds, then we need to go and kill the nest, right? We need to essentially destroy the hotbed of terrorism so then the world can be relieved of the terrorist problem. You don't have Christians running around blowing themselves up or others. You don't have Jews blowing themselves up or others. We don't have either group going out to act.
Supreme Chancellor Sheev Palpatine continues to push his security and order reform bill, which would, in his words, protect the Republic in these dangerous times. Critics, mostly senators who still have functioning spines, argue that it gives the Chancellor far too much power and could fundamentally reshape galactic democracy. Shocking. I mean, I'm no politician, but if a guy refuses to give up emergency powers after 3 years, maybe, just maybe, he's planning to keep them. Just a thought. Meanwhile, the Jedi Council has recalled more knights back to Coruscant due to rising tensions in the Outer Rim. Could we be seeing the final days of the war, or is this just another stall before more campaigns? And in Clone Wars coverage, the HoloNet is abuzz with rumors that General Kenobi and the 212th are launching an offensive on Utapau. No official word yet, but if true, that means General Grievous might finally get what's coming to him, and I'd say it's about time. The guy's been skittering around the galaxy causing havoc for way too long.
Alright, thank you for that breaking news update. That is the Galaxy Radio that we're listening to. Anyway, so yeah, United Kingdom, you guys can deal with that. Midwest America, watch out, throw those prayers up. If you use the correct name, you will have evaded a tornado. If you do not, I don't know. Why? Because I can hear you or I can't. If I have to go and struggle to hear you because you are using false names, that is not worth my time. Finance sector, I think we're doing good. We're holding steady. Oil is going to hold steady. And again, I have no issues with the Hormuz Strait. We get virtually nothing from them anyway. And we've shifted our power away from relying on that. So I'm not worried about it. We've done food. We've done culture. I mean, there's not much change in the war news. It just is what it is. It's more or less going to work. We have to completely remove the military arm of Iran. And the thing is, once the military arm of Iran is removed and all of the IRGC leaders are removed, you're essentially... we are eliminating jihadists. If jihadists are a part of a government, that's their problem. But if it's a jihadist, it doesn't matter if they're in the government or if they're in the populations, wherever. That's the target. People that have their hearts and minds set on being a terrorist. This is a war against terrorism. That's it. We don't want people doing any naughties in the creation, especially for religious, heretic type of reasons. It's just, no, it's not good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot more for today, to be honest. Trying to stick with a more like planned segments, but it feels more unnatural. Like, I feel like I do better with it being more natural. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.